Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jake Silver Show. Disappointingly and somewhat expectedly, talks for peace in the Middle East have fallen through over the weekend. We've sent our best guy there, JD Vance, over in Pakistan to hash things out and try to basically speak on Donald Trump's behalf and try and get some type of negotiated deal that works for both the Iranian regime and for the United States government. JD Vance couldn't get it done. Who'd have thought? I mean, from all the Ozempic, his bones are a bit brittle, so he probably lacked any type of backbone during the negotiations. It really makes sense that a 24-hour meeting with JD Vance wouldn't work out in our favor. He's not the most likable guy, at least in my personal opinion. I wouldn't trust him to close out a deal. I don't even think I would trust him to be the top sales rep at a used car dealership, but maybe for Kias or something like that. But we sent old JD over there and he didn't get it done. He does look great though. I don't know if it is the GLPs or what kind of peptides he's on, but he's really slimmed down there. He's looking good, but not good enough to close a deal. Ceasefire pretty much never existed. Pretty sure Israel immediately started bombing fucking everybody. Lebanon, it doesn't really matter to them. I don't think they even believe in a ceasefire at this point. But again, with this war, it's very, very difficult to find out still what our true intentions are. Of course, our administration says, we just need them to confirm with us that they're not going to be enriching any more uranium or they're going to open the Strait of Hormuz. This is not why we're over there. This is not the real reason why we're over there. But it's difficult for us as normal, everyday civilians to really know what the hell's going on. I mean, you have high-ranking officials in the United States government that have no idea what's going on. You have people within the CIA who have no idea what's going on. But we all really do know what's going on, if I'm being honest. We are being led by the Israeli government and Benjamin Netanyahu to fight wars overseas in the Middle East that they can't fight on their own. And carrying out the greater agenda of Greater Israel. We are expanding the boundaries here. And there is no limit to the Red Sea. It wrapped all the way into the Strait of Hormuz, and it's not looking too good over there. I'm hoping that Trump has played some incredible chess on a global scale with the Iranian regime, but it seems like they're kind of backed into a corner by Donald Trump and his own art of the deal. Them being backed in the corner, it may lead them to strike nearby nations, allies of the United States, and their oil facilities, being Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Kuwait. So, again, Trump pretty much came up and he's like, if I can't have it, nobody will. This is mine. It's mine, mine, mine. So he brings in our ships. They lay out the minesweepers, and that's what will be happening Monday, is we're going to sweep the strait and try and make it safe. Trump doesn't like the idea that Iran wants to do deals for oil with countries that they choose to do deals with. Trump also wants the allies of the United States to maintain some type of security for the Strait of Hormuz, moving forward, and I don't see that really happening, but we'll see what happens. Once we completely seize control of the Strait of Hormuz, we'll see what Iran really wants to do. At this point, do I agree with the move? I mean, I almost have to agree with this tactic that Donald Trump is moving forward with, because he backed our own selves into a corner with this one. This pretty much is like I had said before, you got to finish the job, whatever it is. Whether you really want oil or whether you want them to stop enriching uranium or whether you guys found a Stargate in Iran, doesn't matter. You have to finish whatever it is you guys deem is necessary to finish the job. So if that means taking over and seizing control of what goes in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, so be it. So I agree with the move, but it's one that leaves a very hostile and volatile environment over in the Middle East and the surrounding countries. So we'll see what happens. Trump says the United States will blockade Strait of Hormuz after peace talks fail. President Donald Trump said that effective immediately, the U.S. Navy will prevent ships from passing through the Strait of Hormuz, accusing Iran of extorting them. He had previously criticized Iran for blocking the critical oil shipping choke point. The U.S. and Iran will reach an agreement if the American government abandons its totalitarianism and sorry, I couldn't spit that out. The U.S. and Iran will reach an agreement if the American government abandons its totalitarianism and respects the rights of the Iranian nation. President Masoud, how do you say his last name? Pezeshkian. Masoud Pezeshkian said on X. That's really what's happening? All of our communications going down on Twitter for a potential World War III. Talks between the nations failed yesterday after hours of negotiations in Islamabad. Iran and the U.S. could not agree on multiple points, including reopening the Strait of Hormuz and dismantling all nuclear enrichment facilities in Iran. So, again, the United States, according to the mainstream media, the United States just wants to kill their nuclear program and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which was open prior to this conflict. So this is not why we are started this war. So one day Donald Trump will clearly come. He's already said it to a certain extent. We are fighting wars for Israel like we have since World War I and II. But it won't take as long for people to realize with this one about why we're really fighting this war. I mean, a lot of people are saying the painter was right. You know, the bad guys really won. And I don't think it'll take as long for the truth to come out about the United States government and who they're really fighting these wars for in this pro-Zionist agenda. Huge political movement inside the United States government that's been happening for dozens of years that seems to trump all other major political issues here in the United States of America. It doesn't really matter what's going on, whether it's homelessness, an opioid epidemic, terrorism, open borders. It doesn't really matter what the fuck's going on. The only thing that really matters to the United States government at the end of the day is the security of the nation state of Israel. So hopefully moving forward, the United States citizens can use this knowledge and choose their congressmen and women accordingly. It's all up to us on how active we can really get in terms of instilling a revolution here in our homeland, saving the republic. Speaking of our state representatives, Eric Swalwell paid a legal Brazilian live-in nanny under the table with campaign funds, complaint alleges. Now, Mr. Swalwell, he's a Democratic representative out of California. He's a front runner in the California's governor race. He now, as of today, Sunday, he is stepping down. He's quitting the race. He has a couple, I think there's 2 different sexual assault allegations against him. So as of today, he is stepping down and out of the race. But he also had this issue with a illegal Brazilian live-in nanny. And he was paying this woman with campaign funds. And I don't know if you guys remember, but he also earlier this year was brought up. What was brought up with Swalwell was the scandal with the Chinese spy, Mrs. Fang Fang. He was manipulated and a victim of espionage in the early 2010s, I believe, with a Chinese spy, and didn't know it. Had done business with her, was close with her, and who knows what else he did with her. But I know that I don't want anybody in my government, even if he's a California representative, I don't want him receiving any taxpayer dollars if he can't even sniff out a Chinese spy. Come on. I mean, this is probably the same type of guy who gets, swindled in the center of the mall for like buying fake jewelry and shit. It's like, if you can't sniff out a Chinese spy and you want to be the governor of my state, fuck no. You got to be better than that. He's been accused of violating immigration and employment law to keep his illegal living Brazilian nanny in the country, according to a pair of recently filed complaints when his South American babysitter's temporary work authorization was about to expire in 2022. He and wife Brittany Swalwell lied to the feds to keep Amanda Barbosa working for them, a new complaint filed Tuesday with the Department of Labor claimed. Now, I mean, she's a bit easy on the eyes, as some would say. But if you look at a picture of him with his Brazilian live-in nanny, of course she just had to be a South American live-in nanny. But I'm pretty sure he's fucking this nanny. Okay, this isn't just like, oh, she's just really good with kids. We really trust her. My wife and I handpicked this woman. She's got all the credentials in the world to take care of our kids while we're gone busy. I'm running for governor. No, I'm pretty sure he's banging her. She might be banging her too. I don't know what kind of weird shit's going on, but she was getting paid with campaign funds as an illegal immigrant. Another complaint filed to the Department of Homeland Security in February, previously unreported, accuses Swalwell of paying the nanny under the table with campaign funds for a period of 2 years when she didn't hold valid work authorization. I mean, it's on brand. It's very California of him to harbor illegal immigrants. Eric Swalwell suspended his campaign for California governor on Sunday following sexual assault allegations that he has denied. Now, he's had a rough political career. Now, the timing of the sexual assault allegations and then the bombshell dropping of him using campaign funds to pay an illegal live-in Brazilian nanny. I mean, is this what happens when you're a Democrat trying to run for office in Gavin Newsom's territory? Is this what happens? You just get bombarded with political attacks and holy shit. I mean, I don't know what's next after this. With all these bombshells, the next thing is a car bomb. I really don't know how he politically will survive this. I mean, Andrew Cuomo did. So just give him a couple years, it will blow over. He'll run for mayor or something of Los Angeles. So he'll be okay. He'll be just fine. The other day, Melania Trump blast claims about Jeffrey Epstein and her. First Lady Melania Trump on Thursday blasted what she described as an array of false claims about her and notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, initially this was Operation Epstein Files, which turned into Operation Epic Fury. We were using Operation Epic Fury to cover up the Epstein Files, but now things are kind of not going so well over in the Middle East there in Iran with the Strait of Hormuz and a potential nuclear war, a failed boots on the ground attempt. I don't know what's going on, but it didn't go as smoothly as planned, as smoothly as intended, and now we are going full circle. Now, instead of the war covering up the coverage of the Epstein files. Now let's use the Epstein files to cover up the coverage of the war, or lack thereof. This war never had great coverage. But let's use the Epstein files to cover up the failure that is the Iranian war. So I like what they did there. Very reverse psychology, very tactical. We don't ever know what's going on. That's perfect for them. They don't want us to really know what's going on. It's hard for us to form an opinion now. All you need to worry about is which brand you want to ride with, brother. You don't got to worry about the truth. Just ride with the left or you ride with the right. Which one's it going to be, brother? Fuck truth. We don't need truth here. Okay? Melania says, I am not Epstein's victim. Melania Trump told reporters in a statement at the White House that ended without her taking questions. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I've never had any knowledge of Epstein's abuse of his victims, she said of the late sex offender, who was previously a friend of President Donald Trump's. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant of what? The First Lady ended her statement by calling on Congress to give women who have been victimized by Epstein a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Then and only then will we have the truth, she said. Even then, we ain't going to have the truth, Melania. Epstein's the only reason Trump is with Melania. She was basically escorted straight into his arms. Lolita Express days, Donnie. Come on now. What is this bitch talking about? Is this bitch even a legal immigrant? Jesus Christ. Sorry, Lord. But come on now. We all know Melania was introduced to the president via Jeffrey Epstein. There's no realm where Donald Trump is just like, oh, we met at a coffee shop in Brooklyn and we both had a taste for contemporary music and we hit it off, you know? No, she was straight up in that circle of the Ghislaine Maxwell circle, basically human trafficked into the president's arms. I mean, it wasn't the president at the time. Human trafficked into Donald Trump's arms. And the rest is history. I mean, even in the first stint as president, she damn near looks like a hostage the entire time. You can't deny that. But the difference between Trump's first 4 years and these 4 years, whew. I think that assassination attempt really got to him. Netanyahu sent him a text like, hey, next time, Donald, the bullet will not miss, okay? Donald Trump fell directly in line after that assassination attempt. There are Jews here in America that need to love Israel more. He said some shit like that. Goodness gracious. Completely sold out. I mean, I know if I'm Donald Trump and I've been rich as fuck my whole life. I've lived most of my life. Like, if you're going to kill me, bro. I'm going to leave my legacy as I did what I could to put America first and follow through with what I said I was going to do. I'm not going to be extorted and blackmailed into being some Jewish puppet for the nation state of Israel. Bullshit. I'm ride or dying for the Goyim. You're going to have to fucking take me out. Now, this is sad. This is just another one of the, another incident with our issue at the border that's just been lingering for the past decade or so. Honestly, almost 20 years now. We're experiencing the repercussions of open borders, lax border policies, the Democrats flipping. For some reason, Obama got in office, and then the Democrats were just like, oh, everyone can be gay. Open the borders. Is this a criminal that doesn't belong here? Let him back into the street. DHS is like, do not allow him back into the street. And they're just like, fuck it, give him another shot. I know he raped a boy and killed a family, but let's put him back into the street. I miss the Democrats that were pro-strong borders, pro-anti-illegal immigration. I miss those Democrats, dude. Those are the ones we need back. Outrage builds over illegal immigrant invasion after suspect allegedly executes teen who begged for life. The killing of a 15-year-old Missouri boy who begged for his life during a deadly ambush is fueling a wave of outrage, with Republican leaders pointing to the suspect's illegal immigration status and demanding government officials support tougher border enforcement. I mean, it's unfortunate. Here you have a 15-year-old boy in Missouri who thinks he's meeting up with a girl. He ends up getting set up, chased down in the street, and shot right in the chest, begging for his life by some 18-year-old Honduran kid who wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. I mean, this is just crazy. Yeah, 18-year-old Archaga Elvir was arrested in Texas as an accompanied minor in 2015, but he was released by the Obama administration. I mean, again, in 2015? I mean, he's young, 10 years old. It's just rough, man. Criminal or not, we have to nip it in the bud, especially when the government gets involved, the law enforcement gets involved. There has to be better procedures when it comes to illegal immigrants. If you find out they're illegal, deport them. It's what would happen to us if we were in another half-decent country. You wouldn't just be able to get released back into the street, get a job. I mean, this guy will even get a trial. It's crazy. You don't want to know what I think we should do to criminals like this, whether they're illegal or not. But according to investigators, a juvenile suspect contacted Young and convinced him to leave his home under the belief he was meeting a girl. Instead, authorities say Young was led into a trap. Yeah, witnesses told investigators they warned him not to go, fearing it was a setup tied to tensions from a prior homicide case in which he was expected to testify. Oh, they snuffed him out of there. 15-year-old kid supposed to testify in another homicide case. They really did some work to get this guy. That's sad. But this type of activity is what happens in their respective countries. These illegal immigrants, these immigrants who are here illegally, therefore illegal. This is how they operate in their countries. They are animalistic. I'm not saying the entirety of these nations are animalistic, but the criminals who, it's not even an underworld there. They just exist and thrive. They are animalistic. They are shooting people dead in the street. They do not care about if you're an American. They bring this shitty sense of morals or lack thereof to America, and they carry out their criminal activities the same way they would in their homeland. They might be a little more cautious about it, but they still will shoot you dead in the middle of the street. They'll stab you on a subway train. They'll rape your daughter in the middle of the day in the woods. They do not belong here. And anyone who says they do belong here because it's an open, free world, there's shouldn't be borders or anything, they're completely delusional. Doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. There needs to be security. You have a lock on your door at home. Most of you have a fence around your house for a reason, right? You don't just you don't even like when somebody walks across your fucking grass. But yet we're supposed to have open borders. Blow me. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next week.